Evening race fans, Urban Pirate here, Black Flag Racing TV. You know that because you're watching. This is Smoking Pirellis Thursday Tier 1, round number 3. Yeah, we haven't done the first couple of rounds, been busy. Because apparently you can't do this for a full-time job unless you get loads of money. And I've been told I have to go out and do some actually proper work as well. Shit happens, eh? So this is where we're at. We're at round 3 already. Missed a couple of great weeks so far. What's been the result so far? Well, I'll tell you. Last week they were at the god-awful France. What a horrible racetrack. As much as I miss doing Smoking Pirellis, I fucking dodged a bullet with that one. What an awful racetrack that is. But this is how it ended up. Rose took the win in the Ferrari from first in qualifying. Him and Pink Eye 1 and 2, and they finished 1 and 2. Lipina, I can't even remember. I get it wrong every time. Why is my phone shouting at me? Go away. Not interested. Who cares? If you're not important, there you go. You're muted. Oh, there we go. People can't message me now. Lipina was third. Nat Packers in the other Ferrari was fourth. Andre in fifth. Moikuli was sixth. Samuel Beach seventh. Etoile et al. Down to Jay Hartnell in 16th. And my friend and yours, Jose, in 15th position. This is how it has left the Drivers' Championship. That's your top 10. Rose leads the way. 2 wins from 2 thus far, with Pink Eye 2 seconds from 2 thus far by the looks of things there. Looking very good for those two out in front. Dusty in third. Tom Go Prof has been going fast. He's currently in 4th place. Nat Packers jumps into 5th after that good top 3 finish last week. Top 4 finish, sorry. Grog up to 6th. Ilpina 7th. Moikuli 8th. Samuel Beach in 9th. And Andre in 10th. And that's how the rest of it looked jizzy just outside that top 10 in the Mercedes-Benz. And we've still got the Wicken, Pro Striker and Tyler yet to score any points at all. A couple of reserve drivers in there. We've got Simo, Komzar, Hagrid and Sir Gat as reserves way down there on from 13 to 6 points down the bottom. Anyway, no one cares about them. No one cares. That's how Constructors looks after 2 races. A Ferrari top the table. 157 of your finest Formula 1 points for them. Williams down the bottom with 24 and a fuck ton of work to do. In the interim, Mercedes and McLaren mid-table on 54. But yeah, there's still all to play for. This is round number 3. And round 3 of this week takes us to, where I hear you cry, here, the Hungaroring in Hungary, just outside is the capital, which is, I can't remember, wherever it is. But that's where we are. And over to Crofty to tell us all about it. Press the wrong button.
We're live on the outskirts of the capital, Budapest, at a track that's extremely popular with both the fans and our drivers. I'm talking, of course, about the Hungaroring, and we're about to begin the Hungarian Grand Prix. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around a lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour.
There you have it. Thanks very much for that, Crofty. And seamless transition into qualifying to see that. It's almost like you called a professional and he turned up. It turns out you called him and he wasn't available. So you got me instead. I was about that then. Right. Shall we have a look at who is where and what? Can I even remember what the controls do? Of course I can. I need my track up first. There we go. There's my track. Don't care if you can't see it. I bloody can. Right, so who is first out? That looks like a couple of Ferraris going out. That was very, very close. So Rose heading out onto track. Why can I not hear it? That's better. That's better. I don't know, it's too loud though. Let me turn it down a touch just in case it is. So
everybody strap in.
Absolutely, Samuel. We will get on with that immediately. As he is the current championship leader and he's in a Ferrari and he is one of the least likely to crash, we'll go on board with Rose and have a little look around the Hungaroring. So Shan's out there today. Rose, Andre, Jay Hartnell, Grog, Samuel Beach, Pro Striker. Needs to get some points today, boy. Jimmy is out there today. Tyler as well. Pink Eye still hasn't cleared up. So I can't change his name just yet to Sight Fine. Explicit Simo is out there. Curry is as well. Nat Packer's in the other Ferrari. Moikuli, Cameron Poulter, Jizzy. Still childish, still funny. Tom Go Prof is out there as well. And Dusty Fakes, we've got 18 of 20, which is not too shabby. Right, here we go. Let's go on board with Rose then, shall we? Can I remember what buttons do what? No, of course I can't. There we go. Let's get rid of all this. Heading down the main straight. This is one of 2 DRS zones that we have today. First turn is a nice, solid right-hander. Then you're through the gears for a sweeping left-hander, which gets a little bit tighter as you go through before it opens out again into another right-hander heading up the hill. Into sector 2 you go. Just flick round to the left-hand side before you're braking for this right-hander, which sweeps round on itself. Continues really sweeping round until another right-hander. Into a left, so a nice little SES there for you. Then you've got a little succession of left, right, left, right again. And here goes, this is the left and there's the right. Before we head into sector 3, yellow flag because someone's crashed, get up the way. Right-hander, big right-hander there. Quite an important call of that because this will set you up well for this. Almost hairpin. It's not a tight hairpin, but it is a hairpin all the same. Round the final turn, head across the line. Pink Eye with a 1:16.3 and Rose with boom, pole 1:15.9. That is how you do this shit. Rose on pole. There we go. Rose, Pro Striker. They are currently on the front row. Pink Eye busted down to row 2 alongside his teammate Cameron Bolter. Simo in 5th, Grog is in 6th, and Shan is in 7th place. No, he's not. Shan is in 8th because Samuel Beach has just busted his way into that top 7. Only briefly, because then Tyler did it as well. Then Nat Packers started pissing on everybody's strawberries and put herself in that top 5. So we're still waiting for Andre, Jimmy, Curry, Moikuli, Tom Go Prof, and Dusty Fakes to put in the left. My thought was dancing back up the stairs going, Jimmy, for no apparent reason other than she's a fucking weirdo. Right, anyway. So one driver still thus far, sub 16. That's Rose. That's your current championship leader. Man, so fast that you can't see him drive. Into the pits he comes. Then we've got a gaggle of cars down to Tyler, all sub 117. Then Grog 117.3. And then they're all 117 down to Jay Hartnell. Just Andre, Jimmy, Curry and Dusty Fakes left to go. Currently almost 2 seconds separates the top 14. But that's because Rose is a fucking alien. and drives too crazy fast. Who's driving what? We haven't actually been live with season what was it, season 5 or something now, thus far this season. So I can't. I just kind of remembered who was with what team, and then you start a new bloody season just to fuck with me because you like to see me struggle, clearly. So Rose leads the way in the Ferrari. Tongo Prof is racing for Alpine this time out. That's a good solid time for Tongo Prof, joining him on that front row. Pro Striker and Pink Eye from IRS, which stands for International Racing Sucker. It might not actually mean that. It could mean something else. But Prostituta and Pink Eye are side-by-side teammates outside of F1. Today one's in the McLaren. The other is that rain? Is that rain I see? Do I see rain? I do see rain. So Jimmy, Curry and Dusty Fake better get on with it, or they're not going to get a good qualifying time. This is what happens when you sit in the pits. And I would have known that if Natalie has just informed me. Thank you very much, Nat. There's rain in 2 minutes. It's already raining, Nat. Look out your fucking window, love. I'm joking, of course. It is actually raining, yes. And that means that Jimmy, Curry and Dusty Fakes are fooked. Unless it stops raining and dries out again, they're not going to be able to put in those kind of blistering times that the likes of Rose and Tom Go Prof and etc. put in. This is what happens when you don't put in a banker lap and you sit in the pits farting around with your settings. Just put a fucking lap in, and then you've got something on the board. Because what will happen now is they're either going to crash because they're pushing too hard on the wrong tyres, or they're just going to go slowly. And Cameron Poulter is out of the session as his Pro Striker. Sensible idea, actually. They don't need to go again. They've put in a really good time on dry tyres on a dry track. Dusty Fakes has gone, fuck this shit, I'll just be last. Which is probably not the wisest approach. Pink Eye also retired from the session. So, because they've got that banker lap in, they can now chill out a little bit and not worry so much and just sit back and watch the carnage while Jimmy and Curry try and put some sort of time on the lap. And it looks like Jimmy is out there. It's wobbly. It's very wobbly. So I don't know how they're going to cope. And, well, that's exactly how they're going to cope. You can't park that there, mate. I've lost my thingy. That tells you can't park that there. Well, no, there it is.
You can't park that there, mate.
You can't park that there, mate. No, you cannot, indeed. Yeah, right, back on the track. But, yeah, the only way you're going to get this car around is if you put some proper tyres on it. Some proper wet weather tyres. Because that is very wobbly. Look at the state of that. You're going to break your wrist, son. You're going to break all around and round and round and round we go like a magic roundabout. Give it up, Jimmy. Give it up, man. Give it up. You ain't getting that car home. I reckon you should get 5 points if you get that car home without breaking it. Here we go. Into the pits. Can you even get it? Can you get it around? Oh, I thought you were going to clip the wall going in then. This is fun to watch, isn't it? Oh no! Oh, you lucky bugger. Lucky. Retired. So, essentially, no one's going to go again. Samuel Beach is going out. I think it's more a case of just testing out the trials. Is it going to be a wet race? That's the question. Because if it's not going to be a wet race, then there is no benefit to going out at all for anybody. You might as well wait out this 8 minutes and see if I can think of anything to talk about for 8 minutes that isn't just utter. I'll say that isn't just utter waffle. It's essentially what I do. I come on here, I take the piss out of people that can drive faster than me, and I talk bollocks. If you want to see something really entertaining, to be fair, even if you don't really, you only really watch F1 streams, but if you want to watch something really entertaining, I did a broadcast over the weekend for the WSR Porsche Cup. I did two. In fact, I did one for the Split C for the fast drivers, and I did from replay. I did the academy because I was covering for somebody. Watched the academy race. Right, the first race actually was it was a pretty good race in the Porsche Cayman. The Porsche Cayman around Barcelona. Yeah, it was around Barcelona, Catalunya. So the first race, the feature race, was all right. The sprint race, the 8-lap sprint race after that. All I need to tell you is that of those 8 laps for that sprint race, they only actually completed 2.5 racing laps because of the full course yellows. The driver, it was a crash fest. If full damage had been on right here, where you could brake your car terminally, the race would have finished after about lap 4 because everybody would have been dead. It was an absolute carnage, and I basically spent 15 minutes calling the 11 drivers or 12 drivers or how many there were twats, basically. So if you want to listen to me ranting a load of people just crashing their cars and telling them what utter bellends they are, then I do check that out on the YouTube channel down there. Also, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, why the hell not? We are 2 subscribers away from 400. Click it, because you don't get this shit anywhere else. Nobody talks as much rubbish as I do. Or shows you one lone Aston Martin race car needlessly driving around a wet track in Hungary for no other reason than because they can. And so essentially everybody put a nice early banker lap in, other than Jimmy, Curry and Dusty Fakes, and settled for that as their final qualifying time. And it's quite simply this. Rose and Tom Go Prof will be on the front row. Pro Striker and Pink Eye from the International Racing Circs racing team. They're actually from the IRS, and they're checking into your finances as we speak. Cameron Poulter and Nat Packers are on row number 3. Muy Clear and Explicit Simo are on row number 4. Interesting story about Explicit Simo. He used to just be called Simo, and then he once told someone to fuck off, and now he's called Explicit Simo because he's very, very rude. That may or may not be true. Tyler and Grog are on row 5. Samuel Beach, named like that because he's got sandy coloured hair. And Shan are on row 6. Andre and Jizzy on row 7. Jay Hartnell and Jimmy on row the next one, row 8. Row 9 will be Curry and Dusty Fakes. Jimmy, Curry and Dusty Fakes, of course, didn't bother to settle up because they're far too important to be driving out at any stage. So literally everybody's quit this session, bar Samuel Beach. If Samuel Beach quits out now, does that just end qualifying? Or do we just sit there for 4 minutes with no one doing anything? It's a first for me, so I don't know. So I think Samuel Beach should just exit out because they're not doing anything exciting. And then, it's clearly not going to be raining in the race, or at least no one thinks it will, because no one's bothered putting any practice laps in to see how they can get on with the car in race conditions. So come on, Samuel Beach, put the car away and let's go racing, shall we? What's coming up this weekend on Black Flag Racing TV? Absolutely fuck all. No, I lie. Tomorrow we're back with the new season of Euro Trips F1, and we start at Silverstone. What a place to start. Great place to start. That's tomorrow from 8:45. Saturday, the Black Flag Staying Power Endurance Series returns after a short break for World Cup and World Championship shenanigans. That's going to be at Fuji. Looking forward to that one. But from that point onwards, we've got nothing until Monday. Reason being, it's Chocolate Egg Weekend. It's when we celebrate the arrival of a little bunny rabbit that hides chocolate all around the house. And what usually happens is you hide 50 pieces of chocolate. Your children find 38 pieces of chocolate. And over the next 2 weeks, you end up getting chocolate on your clothes or your shoes or your face. or finding random bits of chocolate in odd places, or like a couple of years ago, you cook some dinner and then find that you had 2 chocolate eggs hidden in the oven that you didn't know about, and an hour after you finished your dinner, wondering why it smelt weird, there's 2 masses of chocolate just buried at the bottom of the frickin' oven, and shit like that, of course, happens. And then some weirdos go to church and pretend that zombie Jesus came back after 3 days, when basically what he did, he just went out on the piss and told everyone he died. Right, so Samuel Beach, are you going to see if my theory is correct about the lobby ending? You're just going to drive. Seriously, 2.5 minutes is a long time to talk about bullshit. I don't know what else to say. Something new coming up potentially. I'm in negotiations for something new on a Monday. At the moment, Mondays, as you know, on Black Flag Racing TV is GR4 Day. Well, it was for the last 6 weeks, Gauntlet, while we were trying something out. Gauntlet moves to a Thursday now for its new season. But GR4 Open Championship, the new season of that begins on Monday. It's going to run side by side with the Wednesday GR3 Open tournament. This time there'll be a third tournament running alongside, so if you race in both, it will be a Constructors Championship. So you use the same constructor for both, or manufacturer should we say, for both Monday and for Wednesday. Obviously it's going to be different cars, different classes, GT3 and GT4, but if you use the manufacturer's the same car, you are in the manufacturer's championship as well, giving you additional points for glory. But Monday evening, I'm in negotiations at the moment with a cross-play F1 league. My experience of cross-play so far has been pretty shitty, but apparently these guys don't really have too many problems. And that is quite a big league with a duo of commentators. And I potentially might be one of them. We'll soon find out. I've got to check them out. They've got to check me out and all that kind of thing. And of course, if you're going to do a duo commentary, it's got to be, you've got to have some chemistry, haven't you? Have some chemistry with them, so we'll find out how that goes on. Anyway, Tuesday we'll be back with, obviously now work has actually slowed a little bit now. I had some big stuff occurring, which has slowed down a bit, and we had health problems at home and stuff, but it's all sorted. So Tuesday back with smoking Pirellis and late night racing, of course, this week. We will return for some of that. Then, of course, next Thursday back doing more of this. And then, of course, it's a return of all the World Cup events over the weekend. So, essentially, no more sleep for me. It's going to be really weird, actually, because I'm used to kind of into and last World Cup weekend, I went to bed for an hour before getting up for the Australian Grand Prix, to then go back to bed after the Australian Grand Prix, and then getting up sometime in the afternoon. And that's generally my weekend when it's World Cup weekends. So it's going to be really weird for me this weekend to be going to sleep at a reasonable hour. I probably won't be able to, but, who knows? I might stay up late and see if I can complete Pornhub. Or something similar. That might not necessarily be what I do. So, qualifying is over, and it's actually Samuel Beach now that's holding everyone up from racing, and I think we're all going to jump in a minibus and go round to Samuel Beach's house. It is if you want to talk absolute bollocks 10 minutes about nothing, because there's just one random Aston Martin driving around a wet track, holding all the proceedings up. But you're right. It's a good way. This is a good way to get airtime. This would have been really good if someone had paid me some money to talk about their business, because I could basically waffle for 10 minutes. And it's crazy, really, but not as crazy as the prices at Crazy Dave's Kebab Shop. See what I did there? Yeah, I really could do with a sponsorship from a decent kebab shop, because our kebab house, our local kebab house, is getting a bit shit. Could do with a new one that wants to bung us some free babbies. If you're really bored over the weekend, I'll post up some links actually on our community thing, because my son, who is fresh off the back of getting into the World Championships for the Rocket League and winning the University UK Championships, there's one more final to go. It's the European Championships is in now. This is the kind of the university only thingy. He's in the final this Friday, competing for that, and then he is also playing for the Insomnia Gaming Festival Rocket League Championship over the course of this weekend, where he'll be in Birmingham. Been put up in the Hilton, nonetheless, by his Rocket League team. How the other half live, getting paid to go to university and getting full ride at university, and getting paid to go to university, and getting given loads of cash and loads of perks to basically play computer games. So to do what most university students do anyway, but for free. How about that? Yeah. So yeah, I'll post some links up, because there's a lot of he's going to be on Twitch a lot this weekend, and I might actually get to watch all of them, which will be really, really cool. Bearing in mind that his team have only lost one championship match in 2023, and that was against last year's world runner-up, and they had lag that day as well. So his team are doing awesome at the minute. Trying to get to sign a management agreement so I can take half his winnings, but apparently you're my dad and you can't do that is a valid answer to that question. Right, so we're ready to go. We can get formation lap. Get some action music. A little bit of actiony music to get us in the mood. Right, formation lap ensues. It is dry, dry, dry. So all of those laps that Samuel Beach put us through were for absolutely nothing. But yes, Samuel Beach has had plenty of airtime now, so they're not going to get any in the race at all. Even if they win and make 100 overtakes, no, I'm not joking, they'll get as much airtime as they need. So, Rose, Tomgo, Prof, they are on your front row. Rose in the Ferrari, currently leading the Drivers' Championship. Tomgo, Prof in the Alpine. Alongside, it will be Pro Striker in the McLaren, with the Haas of Pink Eye next to him. Just behind them on row 3, Cameron Poulter in the other Haas, with the other Ferrari, with the enigmatic, effervescent Netpackers in it. I wonder if you've ever been described as effervescent. I certainly don't remember ever describing anyone as that. Moy Cully and Explicit Simo are on row 4. Moy Cully in the McLaren, and Explicit Simo is in the AlphaTauri. Tyler in the Williams is on row 5 alongside Grog in the Alfa Romeo. Samuel Beach, as we know, is in the Aston Martin, and has Shan for company in the other Williams. Andre in the Alpine has Gizzy in the Mercedes-Benz for company on row 7. Row 8 is Jay Hartnell in the AlphaTauri, with Jimmy in the other Aston Martin alongside. Behind, should I say. Then we've got, alongside. Then we've got Curry in the Red Bull, the only Red Bull, alongside Dusty Fakes in the Alfa Romeo. Let's go on board with Nutcrackers and Nutpackers as we head up to turn 1. So, what are we going to get? We're going to get 2, we're going to get 3, we're going to get 4, we're going to get 5 lights. And once they go out, we will be racing. And they are away. That's a really weird camera angle for a start, but that's the kind of thing we need. As we see a few cars making moves right off the start, and Tomgo Prof losing out immediately from the start into turn 1. Anyone facing the wrong way? Doesn't look like it. It looks like we've got everybody facing in the right direction. So it is Rose leads from Pink Eye. Pink Eye making a great move up into second and pushing Tomgo Prof down into third in the Alpine. Cameron Poulter in fourth. Pro Striker drops all the way down to 5th place. That's loss for him. He went one way, Pink Eye went the other, but joins his teammate Moy Cully, who's running in 6th position. Let's have a little looky-see at position change from the start. So, Simo, we said that he's called Explicit Simo because he says fuck a lot. He will be saying it now because he's lost 10 places. And that is the Mercedes-Benz of Jizzy. Jizzy facing in the wrong direction. which is why he gets one of these.
You can't park that there, mate.
And then we give him this, of course. Yeah, so facing in completely the wrong direction was Jizzy. Dusty Fake's now dropping behind Simo as well. So Dusty Fake's no front wing, going to have to go and get a new one. Into the pits they go. So Rose leads the way. 9/10 of a second clear of Pink Eye already. Tyre choices for the first stint here. Everybody pretty much gone for the mediums. Just Grog, Nat Packers, Tyler, Samuel Beach, and Andre, and Dusty Fakes now is just coming out of the pits on hard tyres. But that was a new choice for them. And Jizzy out of this race after just 0 laps. Didn't make more than 1 lap before Jizzy gave up after crashing that Mercedes-Benz. So there is your leader, Rose, leading from Pink Eye. Pink Eye making up a position from the start. Tongo Prof down into 3rd with Cameron Poulter in 4th. His teammate getting a really, really good start. Pro Striker and Moy Cully in the 2 McLarens, side by side running 5th and 6th. They're running pretty close together. Then you've got gap of about 2.5 seconds back to Grog in the Alfa Romeo, who's got Tyler half a second back, and then 1.3 back to Nat Packers. Those 3 running on the hard tyres, very close-ish together. Shan sandwiched between some hard tyre runners on those mediums. Would ideally want them clear Grog, Tyler and Nat Packers ahead to get the most out of those tyres while they can. Andre running in 11th, half second back, another half second to Jay Hartnell. Then 5 seconds to Simo, who's was very explicit in his instructions to stop swearing. Samuel Beach in 14th. Another retirement. That is Jimmy. We've lost Jizzy and Jimmy. Just because they rhyme, they felt they wanted to stop at the same time. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. No safety car so far, though. We've lost 2 cars and no safety car. You've got to be pleased with that so far. So, it's lap 3 of 35 laps here at the Hungaroring. Already a little bit of action at the back of the pack, but not too much change out in front. As we can see, it's only really at the back there's any significant change. Obviously, Jizzy out, Jimmy also out of this race. So Jimmy didn't even get to qualify. So essentially, all Jimmy has got to do today is turn their PlayStation on, log into the game, look at a car, look at some settings, look at a track, and then basically go home. So yeah, no racing for Jimmy today. Rose, however, doing quite well out in front, holding Pink Eye at bay. Pink Eye gained 2 places from that start, got ahead of Tongo Prof and their teammate, I think, Pro Striker. Tongo Prof down 1, still in that top 3 though, but already 2 seconds back from those 2 leaders, Rose and Pink Eye. They're just starting to pull away, those 2. And it's getting to the stage now where Tongo Prof can see them just disappearing off up the road. What do they do at this stage? I mean, Tom's got to look behind and see that Cameron Poulter's sticking with him, Pro Striker's sticking there. That is Moy Cully tanking down that order. Don't know what happened to them. They are back running now, are they? Or are they still struggling? Do I see a wing? Do I see a front wing? I do see a front wing. So they haven't lost a wing or anything. They've just lost some places. Yeah, so Tongo Prof is going to be looking in the mirrors. Because looking ahead, there's nothing really to see other than just a disappearing Ferrari and a disappearing Haas, who are into turn 1 long before Tom's reaching into the braking zone. You know, we're only 5 laps in, still 30 laps to go, still plenty that can happen. But at this stage of the race, when the person behind you is closing on you, quite significantly, Cameron Poulter, and they've got Pro Striker on the back of them as well. You can have a look at that battle, actually. There's the 3 cars as Grog makes the move on Tyler. So Tyler tucked in behind that Alfa Romeo. He's already nearly 6 seconds behind the top 5. So this currently is what you're looking at here is a battle for 3rd. because Rose and Pink Eye are off into the distance, skipping away like lovers into the sunset, with Tom GoProf, Cameron Poulter and Pro Striker battling out at the moment for third position. So one step of the podium up for grabs between these three cars right now, and there is nothing to separate them. We have, oh, that's very, very wide for Cameron Poulter. That's not the line through there, and loses out as Pro Striker just dives up the correct line and says, thank you very much, my friend. I will be happy to move into fourth. So here we go into the DRS, and DRS, of course, is enabled. Not close enough, though, Cameron Poulter. Over half a second back. Pro Striker was having a little look up the inside on Tom GoProf, but I don't think it was close enough to make it under braking. Certainly not in that corner. More DRS here after turn one. And then, of course, there's no more DRS until the end of this lap, when you can pick it up again on the start-finish straight. So, really, at the moment, it's all about closing up on your prey. So, Cameron Poulter wants to try and close on Pro Striker if they can. Pro Striker, particularly, wants to close on Tom GoProf just to get a good run out. You can get a good run out the final turn with that DRS, with some drag. You really can make a big difference. And into turn one, have that opportunity to go up the inside and say thank you very much. Alternatively, you can put the pressure on, like a Pro Striker did to Cameron Poulter, and force an error, and makes it even easier. Then you don't even have to think about it. So here we go, coming around these last couple of corners, we can see just how close Pro Striker is to the back of Tom GoProf. And not such a great run out there, and that gap just opening up a little bit. You don't want to spend too long in the dirty air, of course, because it can be difficult. A good run out of there is what they need, and a good run out of there is what they did not get. So no opportunity into turn one for Pro Striker. So because they're not going to make an overtake, we're going to have a look at other people. There you go, there's some other people. That's Rose and Pink Eye. Half a second separates those two cars as they go off on a little jaunt up ahead of everybody else. Gap is now 4 seconds between these two and anybody else of any significance. We've looked at that battle for third. Let's go back to the next little battle on the racetrack. And this at the moment is a 6-way battle between Tyler, Grog, Nat Packers, Shan, Andre, all battling out. I was going to say Explicit Simo, but Explicit Simo just dropping off that pace now. So 5-way battle, that 6-way battle became a 5-way battle very, very quickly. And they're all vying for 6th position at the moment, and only separated by a couple of seconds. So it's a bit of a DRS train and a slipstream train where it's available, of course. In terms of overtaking on this track, yeah, I mean, turn one is definitely your best opportunity, without question, because that's where you get your best run of DRS. There's not really much after turn one in terms of DRS, in terms of helping you overtake anybody. Might be good with keeping up with them, but that's about it. As for the rest of the track, it's quite a difficult track to overtake on. There is really only one racing line through every corner. So you are kind of relying on other cars making mistakes, or to be able to do something within the pit stops and that kind of thing. So it's all about the minute. This part of the race is about consolidating. It's about making sure you can get the best lap times possible, looking after your tyres, looking after your fuel, maybe doing something a little bit different on the pit strategy, so you can get past one or two cars in front of you. Whether that be to pit early for the undercut, or whether the overcut works better, I can't tell you. And the reason I can't tell you is because I don't actually do any fucking research. I just rock up 20 minutes before a race and just talk bollocks for an hour. Excuse me. Simo is back involved in that battle. So it's Tyler, Grog, Nat Packer, Shan, Andre, Explicit Simo, all vying for a place in the top 6 as it stands. Then here is the next little gaggle. Well, I say gaggle, it's one car. It's Moikuli, all alone. Ronry, so Ronry. They can see the back of that massive train ahead of them. A train that starts from 6th and finishes in 11th place. But It's not something they're involved with at the moment. They're 1.6 seconds back. So they're not going to get any DRS benefit. So every single lap, the cars in front just get that little bit more pace over them. 16.6 seconds back to Samuel Beach. Now, you would have thought of all the extra practice that Samuel Beach got during the little wet qualifying session, where everybody else was like, fuck this shit. You would have thought they might be a little bit quicker, but they're not. But that might be because they practiced on intermediate tyres. Currently doing intermediate pace. 16.7 seconds back. Then it's 3 seconds back to the AlphaTauri of Jay Hartnell. Jay Hartnell from FRL. Fucking real life, innit? 7.9 back to Curry. And Dusty Fakes is 2.5, 2.6 seconds further back. We've lost Jimmy and Jizzy because they rhyme. We're losing those cars all of the time. No change. Absolutely no change. This might be almost as boring as Monaco. I'm only joking. I'm sure it's going to get better at some stage. At least with Monaco, people crash more often. Rose leads Pink Eye. And it's a very, very similar pace between these two. Nothing really doing. Certainly Rose's not pulling away. But Pink Eye's not super, super pushing either. Just sitting happily in behind there. Obviously, they're going to have to still run the harder compound tyre for a one-stopper here. There are a few cars that are going to be a little bit racier towards the end, having started on the hards. Excuse me, just having a drink. Thus far, though, no safety car, which is always a good thing. So, Rose leads from Pink Eye. The gap back now to Tongo Prof in third is 5.5 of your finest seconds. Cameron Poulter getting a penalty. Now that battle that was a sort of three-way battle is now kind of a two-way battle. Cameron Poulter no longer involved in it, and with a penalty as well, it's going to drop them closer to that gaggle of cars behind. So it's Pro Striker and Tongo Prof now battling for the final podium position. And Pro Striker having another little look into turn one. So what it seems like, they're really closing up on the back of Tongo Prof. And just towards the end of the lap, Tongo defensive, Tongo large, Tongo can't get past me, and then Tongo a little bit fast. And then just opens up that gap when the DRS is there, so Pro Striker can't get close enough to make a move into turn one. And it's very, very good racecraft. Very, very good. Because what they're doing essentially is picking their moments, knowing when to deploy, knowing when to harvest, knowing when to push, knowing when to hold, and doing it to very, very good effect. Look, they're not going to catch Rose and Pink Eye. It's not going to happen. You can see already that 6 seconds ahead. And to be fair, those two have been very dominant so far this season already. Dusty Fakes is our third casualty. Is it a safety car again? No safety car. So we've lost Jizzy, we've lost Jimmy, and we've lost Dusty Fakes. And now we need someone else to quit that rhymes with Dusty Fakes. And there is no one, unless one of them changes their name. So, that's bullshit, isn't it? That is, who's that going very, 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 very slowly? That is an Alfa Romeo going very, very, very slowly. Was that Grog? Can't have been. That must have been Dusty Fakes going slowly. So let's have a full rundown, shall we? Rose leads from Pink Eye. Pink Eye from Tongo Prof. Tongo Prof is ahead of Pro Striker. Those two battling out for third. Cameron Poulter, 1.5 seconds back, is 8 seconds clear of Tyler, who was born in 5990. It's actually a time traveller from the future. Comes back to race cars because they only have hovercraft, little hovering discs of travel, where he comes from. Grog is in 7th, with Nat Packers just half a second back. Shan in 9th, joined by Andre Cordonu. I don't even know how that's pronounced. Explicit Simo outside the top 10, just 3/10 outside the top 10, and closing at the moment on the back of Andre. And Andre, I think that was Andre going very, very wide, and through goes Simo, and we have an overtake. Congratulations! Yeah! I don't have any claps. There we do.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, hell yeah, you don't. Right, so that's Explicit Simo back into the top 10. Andre out of the top 10 in 11th. Samuel Beach, 13 seconds back, running in 12th in the Aston Martin. It's Jay Hartnell in 13th. Unlucky for some, unlucky for you, my friend. Moy Cooley is 2.2 seconds back. Curry is in 15th. And we have 3 big fat quitters, and that's Dusty Fakes, Jimmy, and Jizzy. All quitty, crybaby, sit at the side of the road. Why is my car broke? Because you fucked it, that's why. Rose still leads lap 13 of 35. In 2 laps' time, it'll be lap 15 of 25. So we're just past the halfway point. Are we? No, we're not. That'd be ridiculous. Do your math, you freaking idiots. We are just past the 1/3 point. We'll have 20 laps left in 2 laps' time. Tongo Prof still running in 3rd, still holding Pro Striker at bay, still not pulling away. What happened there? Tongo Prof overtaken finally by Pro Striker. Pro Striker finally gets that move done. No DRS for Tongo Prof. There is some DRS for Pro Striker, so they get to make that move and pull a little bit of a gap. Now, they're not behind Tongo Prof anymore. Can they pull away? Can Cameron Poulter get on the back of Tongo Prof and start mixing things up? Does Pro Striker now have a bit of a free rein to dive up the road after IRS Pink Eye? So it can be an IRS 2 and 3. Well, I mean, it could be an IRS 1 or 2. At the moment, Rose is dominating this race, but you never know. Anything can happen. Rose might crash. Unlikely, doesn't do it very often, but it could be.
Denied.
We don't know. We don't know. That's the beauty of this shizzle. So Rose and Pink Eye still leading. Pro Striker now into that final podium position, and already starting to show Tongo Prof a little bit of pace in front. Cameron Poulter 7/10 back. Tyler, 3 places gained for Tyler. Up to 6th. Grog with 3 places gained is, up to 7th. Cameron Poulter into the pits for the first, probably only time this race. It will easily be 20 laps on those hard compound tyres. So, of course, if nothing untoward happens in terms of safety car and stuff, thus far, we've made it to 15 laps without a car of the safety variety. And there it is, just sitting there. But my lad has probably fallen asleep. Head on the steering wheel. Dreaming of a time when he could be retired and sit in his armchair pretending to drive motorcars. Samuel Beach in 12th place. That's where Cameron Poulter's come out, just ahead of Samuel Beach. So outside that top 10, the interval between them and the leader, it's 29 and a half seconds between Cameron Poulter and the leader right now. That leader being, of course, Rose. Fastest lap goes to, at the moment, Pink Eye with a 1:19.366. 3:66 is not the number of the beast. Rose with a 6:11. It's like a 9:11, but not quite as nice. And Pink Eye has made the move on Rose, but that's because Rose has gone into the pits, of course. Got all excited then. Absolutely no fucking reason. So Pink Eye takes the lead of this race, and we'll go back to it, shall we? Keep it nice and simple, pimple. So Pink Eye in the lead. Pro Striker 7.8 seconds back, not closing on Pink Eye, but of course because quite a few have gone into the pits now. We can see that, where has he gone? Tongo Prof into the pits. He's back in 9th position with his teammate Andre. Let's have a look. How many people have stopped and how often have they stopped? So everybody from Tongo Prof backwards, Tom, Cameron, Samuel, Shan, Moikuli, Jay and Curry have all stopped, as has Rose now. Rose coming back out in 4th. So a much, much better return to the racetrack for Rose than for Tom Go Prof, who was at one stage in that position right now that Rose is currently occupying. With Rose being, 18 seconds back from Pro Striker, from Pink Eye. Essentially, not all 19 seconds, if you count the 1 second behind Rose that he is. Pro Striker coming into the pits. Pink Eye also into the pits. Tyler, does Tyler stay out? Tyler is on the hard compound tyre and hasn't stopped. So we'll go another 3 laps or so-ish before they come into the pits. Now, Tyler comes out behind Pink Eye. That is brilliant. And Rose does get the move done, though, very quickly. So Rose, and they're battling out, Rose and Pink Eye. Having a little ding-dong there. There's a spin. There's a spin from Pink Eye. Does rescue it. Doesn't end up in the wall. That's an unsafe return to track. But luckily, ghosted out. But my God, if you came around that corner and saw that car there, you would have fucking shit yourself. So, Rose back into the lead. Him and Pink Eye having a nice little battle there for the lead. Then Pink Eye couldn't handle it. A little bit too brave with the loud pedal, and the back of the car came round to beat the front and said hello, and he did rescue it, but and didn't put it into a wall, but has cost himself 3 of the juiciest of track positions. Now Tyler and Grog still need to go in. Okay, so Pink Eye will more than likely regain a place in the top 2, but now he's not going to be tucked behind Rose, right behind Rose. He's going to be some way back. So this has now become a little bit of a relaxed afternoon drive for Rose, because he now has a sizable gap he can manage. Now, if Rose and Pink Eye can churn very similar lap times out, Rose can afford to actually just not put so much load through the tyres and such like. As Pink Eye makes the move on Grog. Does it stick? Yes, it does. Does it stick? Yes, it does. But let's be fair, that's not Grog's race there. Fighting that too much when you've still got to stop, it's a bit of a stupid thing to do. And rightly so, Grog didn't continue to fight that. But now things are mixed up a bit, because it is a safety car. Why do we have a safety car when nobody has crashed? We had 3 cars quit this race, and there was no safety car. Now we have one, and it looks to me that everybody is running. So this is brilliant news for the likes of Tyler and Grog and Nat Packers and Andre. Because look, they can pit on the safety car. They're going to lose some time, but they're going to lose significantly less than they would have done had they pit under normal racing conditions. Pink Eye will get back into 2nd, and actually this plays into Pink Eye as well, because Pink Eye did lose out a bit of time going sideways and heading towards the wall, but this basically negates the race. So all of those gaps will come down to much more manageable bite-sized chunks, and we basically start again as though the race has started, but much further in. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because those 5 that have just gone into the pits, being Tyler, Grog, Nat Packers, Andre, and Samuel of the Beach, they are all now only obligated to use medium compound tyre. And it's a medium compound tyre that they can nurse for a couple of laps and not put any significant load through. So what they're going to be able to do is conserve some fuel, conserve those grippier tyres, and then get on that loud pedal and give it some beans to chase down all of those runners around them on the hard compound tyres, and run and be able to run to the end of the race like that. Towards the end of the stint, it's not going to be as beneficial, but early on they're going to have superior grip. and they're going to be able to just give it some. And bear in mind, they had a much, much smaller loss in terms of pit stop time. So, as we are negated under the Aston Martin safety car, let's have a full rundown. Rose leads from Pink Eye. That gap back down to something that Pink Eye would be much happier with. Pro Striker is going to be much happier as well in the McLaren, runs in third. Tongo Prof in fourth in the Alpine. And then the lead Williams of Tyler in fifth place, with Grog and Alfa Romeo just behind. And the second Ferrari containing nutcrackers. She is back in seventh position, ahead of Cordonneau Andre. And that's exactly how it's pronounced, and I will not be convinced otherwise. Fuck off, Simo, in ninth place in the Alpha Tauri. He is ahead of Moikuli, who rounds out that top 10 in the McLaren. Samuel Beach in the Alpha... He's not in an Alfa Romeo, fucking Aston... I'll keep doing it. It's an Aston Martin, you absolute melt. I'll say something really, really, really offensive thing. Shan in the other Williams is back in 12th, with Jay Hartnell 7.3 seconds back in 13th. They're desperately trying to close up that gap while the safety car is still out. And then Korea in 14th. We have lost Jimmy, Dusty Fakes, Cameron Poulter, and 4 cars that makes that we've lost thus far. Just 14 runners left. We only started with 18, of course. And we're under safety car. If you didn't know already, this is round 3 at the Hungaroring Smoking Pirellis Thursday at Tier 1, live here on Black Flag Racing TV. Up after this is nothing, because we've just finished a season of Lancer vs Evo. So it's all quiet until next week, when we're back with a new series of Gauntlet, starting from next Thursday. Very, very popular with Gauntlet. If you want to get a place, you better sign up now, because otherwise you're not going to get a place. Right, safety car is in this lap, which is lap 20 of 35 here in Bucharest, or just outside Bucharest, in Hungary. And talking of Hungary, one of our Black Flag drivers is Hungarian. This is his spiritual home. He doesn't live there anymore. He's now in the land of the Dutch, where Tongo Prof is from. Look, I'm loving the segment. Look, I should work on proper radio, shouldn't I? I've got a face for radio, to be fair, and the physique. Not the mouth, though. Apparently my potty mouth is not quite as welcome. So here we go. We're going to go back racing again. Let's see. Oh, look at that move! Straight away from Tyler. Was that a legal move? It certainly looked to be. Great move from Tyler there. Immediately just caught Tongo Prof sleeping. Only briefly, though. Tongo Prof takes that position back. It could be that Tyler was a little bit jump the gun and had to give that back anyway. But my God, Tongo Prof nearly got caught sleeping there. And we're back underway. Everyone is going to be going hammer and tong straight at it from the outset. We're going to have... a bit of a charge from those on the medium tyres. So top 4, all running the hard compound tyres. Tyler, Grog, Nat Packers, Andre, all behind them, running medium tyres. They're softer, they're grippier, they're newer, they're nicer, they're faster. And they will really be putting those cars ahead under pressure. No DRS for the first couple of laps after the safety car. Can we make it to the end without a safety car? That's the question. Lap 21 of 35. 14 laps remaining. And we are currently watching Tyler, the lead runner of those on the medium compound tyres. They already had a good run at Tongo Prof, but got that position back very quickly, did the Dutchman. And I think the reason for that might have been because Tyler jumped the gun a little bit there. But, position given back, and all's fair in loves and wars, isn't it? Rose leads from Pink Eye. Pro Striker back in that mix now. And not just in the mix for the top 3, but back in the battle for maybe a better podium position. Tongo Prof hanging on there as well. And as is Grog and Nat Packers and Tyler and Andre. They're all in there, all trying to get involved in a battle for the top 3. Pro Striker's going to see, I think, Rose and Pink Eye pull away yet again. But what they don't want to see, especially these guys running from sort of 4th to 8th, 9th, 10th, They won't want to see Pro Striker pulling away. They'll want Tongo Prof to keep him in their sights. They'll want Tyler and Grog and Nat Packers. They'll want to see him just there up the road that knows there's an opportunity to get through. Curry running just 1.2 seconds back. Everyone closed up nicely there towards the end, which means nobody's been like everybody's still lap 22 on the lead lap of this race, unless you count Cameron Poulter, Dusty Fakes, Jimmy and Jizzy, because they're not. But then they're not on the racetrack. They are in the pits, quaffing the three champers and licking the strawberries. Shan running in 13th place, half a second back from Jay Hartnell as DRS is enabled. Does this allow these medium tyre runners a good run and great defensive driving from Pro Striker and Tongo Prof? They do not. Neither of them want to give up the position to each other, but neither do they want to allow those medium tyre runners behind to get the run on them. And it's going to be so difficult to keep those cars at bay. The tyres are in such better nick, and they're softer, and they're grippier. They're just going to have so much more opportunity with traction coming out of every corner. Braking later, accelerating earlier, it's going to make a massive difference. And the longer this race goes on, of course, once it gets to the last sort of 4 or 5 laps, I think they're both going to be struggling a little bit with grip. But at this stage, as it goes on, to sort of like 25, 26, 27, it's only going to get harder as the temperature goes into those medium tyres, and they're maintaining their grip. And those hard compound tyres, as warm as they are, just are not giving the grip that those guys will want them to have. So Rose does still lead, 7/10 of a second. You can see Rose and Pink Eye just again starting to open up from those guys behind. And there is significant movement going on. Tongo Prof having a look round the outside. Pro Striker holds him off. The problem is with these two fighting, does this let Tyler into the battle? Does Tyler say, look, let these two battle it out, and I'll just make me little move. I'll wait for one of them to make a move. I'll follow Tongo Prof through if that's what he wants to do. But Tongo Prof is all over the back of Pro Striker. And I'll tell you what, a name like Prostituter is much more appropriate for what's happening from Tongo Prof in a minute. Normally, when you're hanging out the back of a prostitute like that, it costs you at least 35 quid, depending on where you go, of course. if it's Scunthorpe, it's a bag of chips. But Tongo Prof at the moment is paying nothing for that privilege of hanging out the back of Prostituta in 3rd position. Tongo look for bang bang. Oh, look at this. There's a move there from Grog. Grog's trying to have a go on Tyler. Is that move going to stick? Side by side they go. Grog with the inside line. Just holding it round the outside is Tyler as they come into the final corner, and Tyler does hold on, but Grog's going to get another run now with DRS down to turn 1. Also, Nat Packer's involved there as well. This is a really, really solid battle going on, and so much weaving to try and prevent anyone going through. Round the outside goes Nat Packers. Is there a little bit more traction here for her? No, there's not. Grog just holding on, but from putting the frighteners on Tyler, now here goes Nat Packers up on the inside of Grog. Grog's going to have the inside line this time. It is battle side by side, and I love it when they race like this because it is going on like Donkey Kong. Nobody's getting any breathing room at all. They literally got to keep their wits about them every single corner. One mistake, one little slip, go just that little bit wide, and that person behind you is going to nip into that position, stick their fingers up and say, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, because it is on right now. Rose and Pink Eye capitalising from these battles behind and disappearing off up into the distance to the theme tune of Little House on the Prairie. Pro Striker holding on from Tongo Prof. Tongo Prof at the moment holding on from Tyler. Grog now holding on from Nat Packers. Everyone in that top 7 really trying to have a go and trying to improve their lot as they come round. This is a good run out here for the Ferrari. Down to turn 1. DRS open for Grog. Saving grace for Grog. Just being close enough to Tyler. But Tyler make a move on Tongo Prof again this time. Round the outside. Does it stick this time? It looks like he has got ahead. Tongo Prof can't keep him at bay. And Tyler moves up into 4th place. Tom Prof on those hard compound tyres couldn't stop Tyler from making that move, and back into 5th they go. Now Grog can see that target, can aim for that target. Can they pull away from the pressure from Nat Packers, who themselves is struggling a little bit from the pressure from Andre? Because Andre, don't forget about Andre's in there. So while Nat Packers is pushing on Grog, and Grog pushing on Tom Prof, there's Andre at the back of that train, just waiting for one or more of these cars ahead to get it wrong, and through they will go. All to play for. 9 laps remaining, lap 26 to 35 here at the Hungaroring, just outside Budapest in Hungary. And if you're hungry for racing action, this is the place to sate your appetite, because right now it is come alive since the safety car. Rose leading from Pink Eye, fastest lap for Tyler, who pushed and pushed and pushed, and finally got past Tongo Prof up into 4th, and now starting to make moves towards Pro Striker in the McLaren. Can Pro Striker keep Tyler at bay? They kept Tongo Prof at bay. Tongo Prof was pushing and pushing and pushing on the back, and couldn't get through. They were knocking on the door, and the little pig said, "No way, mofo." And he huffed and he puffed, and fuck all happened. But now we've got a much, much sturdier wolf. This wolf has got much grippier tyres, and it's called Tyler, and it's coming after Little Piggy Pro. Only I could work in nursery rhymes. Jay Hartnell is another DNF. So we've lost Jay Hartnell, we've lost Cameron Poulter, we've lost Dusty Fakes, we've lost Jimmy, and we've lost Jizzy. This is how it lines up right now. It's Rose from Pink Eye in 2nd. That's half a second between those two. 2.2 back to Pro Striker, who's got Tyler crawling all over the back. This is going to become a human centipede of cars right now. One's going to be shitting in the other one's mouth. All the way out, right back to Andre in 8th. It's Tom Prof, it's Grog, it's Nat Packers, it's Andre. Then it's 1.8 seconds to Samuel Beach. Then it's 1.4 back to Moy Cully. 0.8 of a second back to Shan, who on those medium tyres will hope to make a move on Moy Cully in the next lap or two. Curry back in 12th place, 3.2 seconds back. And Simo into the pits yet again, is speeding in the pit lane. It's not the day for explicit Simo. And Nat Pack is making a mistake because Andre gets on. Well, I'm assuming credit. Let's give credit to Andre. Say Andre drove good, not just that Nat fucked up, because that might be unfair. But she probably did. She's a woman. She's driving the car. In my opinion, the Saudi Arabians have got that one right. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Genuinely, please don't stone me to death. If you've got the strength to lift a stone at us, of course. No, I'm really joking. Seriously, my wife would fucking beat me. Rose leads half a second from Pink Eye. 1.92 Pro Striker. Just as weathered that storm, weathered that pressure from Tyler, who's backed off a little bit now. 0.8 back from Pro Striker. Giving Tom Prof going to get a run back at them. Pro Striker puts in the fastest lap of the race, which is so it's more a case of Pro Striker's gone faster than Tyler's gone slower. Grog can't keep up with that battle between Tyler and Tom Prof. Is ahead of Andre, ahead of Nat Packers, but now 2.3 seconds back, running in 6th place in the Alfa Romeo. But that battle is still on. Andre there in 7th, and Nat Packers still pushing in 8th place in that Ferrari. The question is, are they holding anything back? Do any of these three have something in reserve for the last couple of laps? Are they like holding on to a bit of fuel, maybe ensuring that they've got a bit more than they need for that final lap? Just you kind of building up their ERS, looking after their tyres, so they've got something to push with at the end. Just pacing themselves, so they've got a bit of a stamina for that final bashing right at the end to finish off. Samuel Beach running in 9th, not far off that battle, could quite easily in a lap or two be very much involved. because it's only 8/10. In fact, that's 6/10, half a second, in fact. So that's closing relatively quickly for Samuel Beach. Moy Cooley getting left and dropped towards the ever chasing Shen, 8/10 of a second back. So we start lap 30 of 35 here at the Hungaroring. This is Smoking Pirellis Racing Club. F1 2022 at the Hungaroring, round number 3. The current championship leader, Rose, and his, I was going to say protege, because he has been chasing him down all season. These two all season have been battling out. I say all season, like, you know, been going on for 20 races. It's only race number 3 for Christ's sake. But, you know, it's been all about Rose and Pink Eye. I'd say it's been like kind of Verstappen and Hamilton. But it's like Verstappen and Hamilton when Hamilton had a good car and wasn't moaning. Well, no, he was moaning all the time because he wasn't winning. But yeah, back when Mercedes knew how to build a racing car, because they'd been given some proprietary information by the FIA. But obviously not now, because it's basically no one can challenge Max at the moment, apart from Fernando Strollonzo. So Rose leads 15 laps on those hard compound tyres. They will easily go to the end of this race. There's Pink Eye. The thing is, you know, Pink Eye's doing the right thing, because Pink Eye might not have put too much pressure on Rose, but you just need to be there. Rose makes one mistake, it can easily put Pink Eye in the lead of this race. So, I mean, the pressure really is on Rose rather than on Pink Eye, because Rose knows that any mistake, and Pink Eye is stealing that first place from them, and then potentially a big enough mistake, and it could be Pro Striker and Tyler come whizzing on through. As it stands, very, very consistent driving from the older Rose. Excuse me. Tyler and the cough still on the horizon, but it's disappearing slowly. Pro Striker running in third, 2.5 seconds back. That's a great camera shot, that was. This is the view from the back of the McLaren. You can see Tyler still in there, still a couple of tenths, 6/10 back, half a second back, just waiting, biding their time now. They're on the medium tyre, so we'll have a little bit more grip. DRS wide opens the head down to turn 1. Not enough. You can see just as they get to the end of the DRS, that's when that Williams starts to close, but it's not quite enough to get that move done. There is Tyler, of course, we were just watching. Tongo Prof, a little bit further back. He's on those hard compound tyres, so not necessarily going to have the same traction, but holding out very, very well to stick with that battle for third. That's still on. Grog back in 6th place, 3.3 seconds back. Can't really see that battle up ahead now. They are always round the corner further on up the road. You can see there as he comes round, they disappear round again. Andre back in 7th, is just half a second back. Nat Packers half a second back themselves, followed by Samuel L. Beachson.
What happened here was a miracle, and I want you to fucking acknowledge it.
That is Samuel's real voice. He's changed his name to Samuel Beach because his hair looks like it's gold, like the sand on a beach. It's not. It's brown like the rocks at Brighton. I don't know either way. There is Shan, all alone, 3 seconds back. Now, Moy Cooley, Curry, and Explicit Simo have all gone on to the soft compound tyre. If this is a ploy for fastest lap, I think I made my feelings clear that you shouldn't be allowed to just jump on some fast tyres for fastest lap. They should be on tyres you have been racing on, and I think that should count for proper F1 too. But I also think it should be extended to the entire field. Right, penalties. Tyler and Tongo Prof both carrying penalties. I think it's time to have a look and see what, if any, impact that will have. So, as it stands, Grog will benefit from Tyler's 6-second penalty, as will Andre, I think, and possibly also Nutcrackers. Maybe even Samuel Beach. Because Tyler has 6 seconds worth of penalties. Tongo Prof is 3.3 seconds clear of Grog. That's enough to stay there. So Tom Prof will move up to 4th. Grog up to 5th. Andre up to 6th. Nat Packers up to 7th. Possibly also Samuel Beach up to 8th. But I can't be asked to do that much maths. I can't be asked to do that much maths when I'm supposed to do maths. I'm not going to do it now when I'm not supposed to. But, yeah, costly. The other two carrying penalties, of course, are Curry with a 3-second penalty. And that's going to put them plumb last behind Explicit Simo. That's one less reason to say fuck, isn't it? But that's not going to mean jack shit, because Explicit Simo's got 6 seconds worth of penalties themselves. So it won't matter. We'll need to get ahead of Curry. Yeah, it's going to take some work. Pink Eye not only picks up a penalty, is out of this race. What happened to Pink Eye? I'm trying to see if I can see where Pink Eye crashes. And Pink Eye, I'm sorry, my friend.
You can't park that there, mate.
Just pushing a little bit too hard. Going after Rose.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
I crashed.
You crashed! How are you coming fast?
Yeah, I bet you're pissed, mate. What can you say? So, Pro Striker, looking pretty damn good for 2nd, but Rose miles ahead now, and it is Rose's race to lose. So, as we start the final lap of the race, lap 35 of 35, let's do a full rundown, pop pickers. It is in 13th place. It is Curry with, I've got only 3 seconds and Explicit Simo's got 6, so I'm not going to be last. It's the fucking am. Explicit Simo is in 11th place. 6 seconds worth of penalties, but Curry too far back. Moikuli is in the top 10. 17 seconds back from Shen. Shan is 3.7 back from Nat Packers across the universe on the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk. Samuel Beach running in 7th, half second back from Grog, who is only 3/10 behind Cordon Andre. 4.3 behind Tom Go Prof, carrying that 3-second penalty, and putting some pressure actually on Tyler, running in 3rd. Now, surely Tom Go Prof is thinking here, I could potentially nick 2nd if I go a bit faster. Tyler's going to drop out of that top 3 and down the order. Tom Go Prof now benefiting from Pink Eye crashing the car. Pink Eye and a split open head. Because now he's going to be in the top 3 despite having a penalty. Pro Striker 5.1 behind Rose, but here winning the race is your current race championship leader. It's Rose from Pro Striker, from Tom Go Prof, from Tyler. Andre moves up to 4th, Grog up to 5th, Samuel Beach up to 6th, Tyler in 7th, Nat Packer's not quite close enough to benefit, finishing in 8th, Shan in 9th, Moikuli in 10th, Explicit Simo in 11th, Curry will be in 12th. But there is your race winner today. Winner, a chicken dinner for Rose. He is now leading the championship with maximum points from the 3 races thus far. How do you like them apples, my friend? How do you like them apples? Congratulations, my friend. That is very, very good racing thus far.
Joni loves Chachi!
Joni does indeed love Chachi. Joni loves Chachi because Chachi wins races, boy. So there we go. Rose wins back-to-back races. Really, really good performance. And, yeah. It is done. It is finished. Hungary is over. And next week, one of my favourite racetracks. One of my favouriteest racetracks. We will be at the Gilles Villeneuve track in Canada. Of course, get rid of that. There he is. There's Rose lifting that massive, massive cup aloft. And he's going to drink Tizer out of it. That's his secret. That's why he's so fast. He drinks 72.5 litres of Tizer every week, and it makes the sugar rush makes him fast. And there we go. That's your top 3. Tom Grove Prof lucks out a little bit with a 3rd position. Here is your official rundown. Rose from Jamaica wins in the Ferrari, from Pro Striker from Belgium in the McLaren. Tom Grove Prof from the Dutchman in the Alpine, ahead of his Alpine teammates. Cordon Andre, I don't know where that flag is from, I can't remember. Grog from Scotland in the Alfa Romeo is ahead of Samuel Beach from the UK in the Aston Martin, and Tyler in the Williams from the UK as well. Nat Packer says United States. We know that she's not in the United States. She's far too posh to be American. In the Ferrari in 8th position, Shen from the World in 9th in the Williams. Moi Cully in the McLaren is 10th from Finland, Denmark, one of them. Curry's from there as well. Explicitissimo splits them though in 11th in the Alpha Tauri. Curry in the Red Bull in 12th. Pink Eye and Jay Hartnell and who else was it? And Cameron Poulter, Dusty Fakes, Omni Jimmy and Jinx Z, or Jizzy, as he's more commonly known, are out. Did not finish. Get nil pois. Suck it, baby. Right, we're done. Finished. Had enough. What can I say? It's not Round France, and it's not Late Night Racing next. It's something else completely different. It's Eurotrips F1, which is tomorrow. Look, thanks very much for joining me. It's been a very, very highly charged emotional experience. And I've enjoyed it very, very much. And I've been touching myself a little bit the whole time. So thank you very much. I've been Umpire. This has been Black Flag Racing TV. It's been emotional.